Hey Kevin, I thought it might be easiest just to make a short video in relation to creating tests using multiple pools for multiple question types. So if you remember, you were asking about, can I have a pool for just my multiple choice questions that it gets drawn from essay and so on. So I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Course Tools, and I'm going to go down to Test, Surveys, and Pools. And I want to create a pool. So I have two here, but I'll show you just in case. To build a pool, you just click Build a Pool, you name it, give it a description. This is for you, not for the students, so you remember what you made. And then you can create questions in it. You can create all these different types of questions, just as you would in a normal test. So once you have your pool created, you can go into your where you want the test to be. So I'm going to just go into, this is a sandbox course that I have. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a test. And I've already got an empty test here. So basically I just created a test with all the different functionality, but I'm going to just go ahead, I think you're familiar with that, and select the test I already have. And this is empty. Right, so there's nothing in it. You can see here, just some filler. Right. Okay. So you can scroll down. You'll want to change your test options. This is just the default. So when I scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's my multi-pool sample test. So I'm going to want to go in and edit the test. Okay, so you can see there's no test questions in my test. So what I want to do in order to use the pool option is go to Reuse Question and then create a random block. And what this does is, if you notice on the left-hand side, it has all the lists of the pools that I have. So I've created a new pool that has no questions in it. But I also have I'm going to check that. I also have an essay pool and a multiple choice pool that I've already created. Now you could create pools for each test. You'll have to name them appropriately so you don't get confused as to what test goes where. But for this example, with just one test and these two pools, it's pretty straightforward. By selecting my tests and selecting all pool questions, I can see all the different questions that I made. Again, they're just fillers. But you could have it selected just on essay questions, or in this case, multiple choice. You'll notice you can select matching. I don't have any. So I'm going to go ahead and select all pool questions, and then click Submit. Or excuse me, no. I'm going to do just multiple choice for this example. Just multiple choice. You'll see why in a second. So you'll see it says I created what looks like a test question, but it's really a block of questions. Right? And these are going to be my multiple choice. So you can see here, source pool, it's pooling from the multiple choice pool, and the question type has all the questions. So I'm going to choose, out of the 3 questions, I want the students to have 2 questions. And you'll notice up here that it's switched. Questions 1 through 2 are now coming from the multiple choice pool. You're getting 2. So it's going to randomly select 2 of the questions from the 3. Okay, well that's great, but you also want some essay questions, for example. So what I do is I go back up to Reuse Question, and again I create a random block, go through the process again. This time I select essay pool and all pool questions, and click Submit. And you can see now it has items 1 through 2 are the multiple choice. Item number 3 is essay pool down here. That's where it's pulling it from. And I can change this to be 1, 2, 3, whatever I like. I'm going to change it to 2. And now you can see that it changed questions number 3 through 4 are now coming from the essay pool. So I can also move them around. So if I like my essays first, I can have them at the front, and then the multiple choice would follow, or vice versa. Just drag and drop using the little tool up here in the corner. So hopefully this answers your question. Pretty straightforward. Obviously you would have to set your points and do all the other test construction that I believe you're familiar with. But if you have any questions, please give me a call or email me and we can sit down and walk through them together. Thanks a lot.